everybody, and welcome to this special on transiting Mercury out of bounds. So this is an in-depth guide all about what happens when Mercury, the planet of communication, goes out of bounds, which happens at least once a year in astrology. So yeah, this year Mercury goes out of bounds when it's in Taurus on the 12th of June at 12 minutes past midnight, all times are in GMT times. Then Mercury then enters Gemini on the 14th of June while still out of bounds, and then stays out of bounds until the 28th of June at 10:08, and then stays in Gemini until when Mercury moves into Cancer on the 29th of June. So yeah, so as I said, Mercury is the planet of communication and intellect. It rules the third house in astrology. It governs things like short journeys, siblings, cousins and stuff like that as well. So Mercury out of bounds simply means when Mercury is out of its normal range of its limits, and normally Mercury and all the other planets stay within the range of 23.5, but when they go out of bounds, the Sun and the Moon never goes out of bounds. Well, the Sun does technically at the day of the solstice and the winter solstice and the summer solstice, but that's not what this video is about. So yeah, Mercury out of bounds can bring an increase in communication, intellectual kind of pursuits of going after like researching, working with data and all that complex researchy stuff. This energy is really, really good, especially if it's research to do with the unconventional or a specialized sort of like niche. It allows us to be more mentally flexible, and our communication can become more erratic and unconventional. So yeah, we're just open to more alternative forms of communication and thinking and being with others. We may find ourselves being more open to innovative ideas, alternative perspectives and all of that. Practically, the best use of this energy is to use it to complete tasks that you've been putting off, achieve your goals, because you can be really more focused and determined to do what you need to do. So this is good, but negatively it can affect relationships, and people responding to text and communication, because people may be like, I'm just want to look after my needs right now and focus on what I need to do, which is, great. I believe we should all prioritise ourselves, and what we shouldn't do is freeze other people out. So just make sure you let people know you're having time out, and of course if people refuse to respect your boundaries right now, then lock yourself away in your alternative research you will. So yeah, we can think more quickly, adapt to changing circumstances, and this can improve our problem solving skills and the way we approach going about challenges that come up, or looking at old problems that we still are waiting to resolve in our lives. So it gives us a boost in our professional plans, and we may just feel a greater sense of accomplishment in our daily responsibilities. So it's just good for looking at your day-to-day communication routines. Are you spending too much time online, on social media and forums, whatever you're doing, looking at how much you may be over communicating, under communicating and stuff like that, so that like you can make a routine, tick off little points and make yourself feel really proud about your progress. So yeah, on the materialistic worldly level, it kind of amplifies the influence of verbal and written communication. So it can be a good time for some of you to negotiate, to sell things, to pitch ideas, connect with influential individuals. We can be more persuasive right now because of the increased intellectual capacity to think and get our ideas across to others, and build strong connections and make lasting impressions, especially with people who you may not normally come into contact with. So yeah, it's a great energy for networking events, conferences and social gathering, because it opens doors to new opportunities and working with like people you've never worked with before. So maybe you're a content creator, you may reach out to someone like, no, I don't think they will respond to me, or maybe we can't work, not that you can't work together, but you didn't see in the past how you could work with them, but now you could be open to their ways of thinking, because they may be more alternative in the way they put up their communications across, or you may feel the same way. So yeah, it's a great energy to, really be competitive. Anything to do with communication and competitive communication, like sales and marketing, can really do well right now. But just watch out for being too pushy, overstepping on your co-workers, sues and stuff like that, taking advantage of others and doing things underhanded, because it may come back to bite you in the bum, So politically, it can make us more aware of existing governments and ideologies and perspectives, and be open to going underneath the details, especially if in your countries things like general elections are happening, local votes and stuff. You may find yourself more now wanting to really get to the truth behind each political party's ideology, or whatever is being promoted in the media. So this can be a time of increased public discourse, conversation, and debates about political issues that may have been previously overlooked, and this can lead to a shift in public perception, and leaders may find that they may have to change their message right now, or maybe apologise for something wrong they said, because the involving sentiments of the public are changing, and how they used to talk to the public before, when it used to work for them, it may not work for them now. So it's also an opportunity for marginalised parties and voices to be heard, and for new ideas and approaches to government and local politics, communities and stuff like that can gain traction, and people may be more open to change, because normally as human beings we love our comfort zone, we dislike change, but people may actually pay more attention to new messages right now. On the spiritual, esoteric level, it can increase our intuitive abilities and open channels of higher consciousness, and this can allow for us to have a greater connection to the spiritual realm. People may find themselves more attuned to their inner wisdom, experiencing increased intuition and a clearer understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. So you'll be open to seeing how your behaviour may affect other people's behaviours and stuff like that. So how you communicate can influence a decision and stuff, and start thinking about thinking before you speak and stuff like that as well. It gives us a chance for more spiritual growth and exploration. Some of us may delve into the mystical practices of communication, because Mercury is out of bounds, so it's all about experimentation. So whether it be experimenting with new meditation or self-reflection techniques as well, it can expand our awareness if we stay awake, and deepen our sense of purpose, and align ourselves with our spiritual sort of essence and higher consciousness, as we strive for greater understanding and harmony within ourselves and the environment around us. On the psychological level, Mercury out of bounds stimulates the mind, as I said, so this makes us more flexible in our thought processes and cognitive abilities. We are able to adapt to change more quickly. So this is really good for you to get yourself out of your comfort zone, especially when it comes to communication. So like I said, you may be working on a book, a podcast or something else, and you may keep on doing the same things and you're not getting nowhere. So this energy wants us to think outside of your box, and it gives us greater capacity to be open to being creative and innovative in our communication. And we just have a greater capacity for learning new things, being open to new ideas, remembering it as well. So yeah, this energy is really good for expanding our mental horizons, letting go of toxic thoughts and behaviours and things that are getting in the way of us communicating healthily with ourselves, and this can deepen the understanding of ourselves, as I said, and just the world around us, and just psychologically release you from all the things that, especially the thought patterns that stop you from embracing a new way of being that can really increase your life on all levels, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, financially and physically. So on the symbolic level, Mercury out of bounds is a powerful catalyst for manifesting our artistic, creative and imaginative side of our personality and self-expression right now. We may find an increase in inspiration, finding ourselves more open to exploring different forms of writing, painting, dancing, writing music, listening to music and just being creative, tapping into your unique individual voice. So good for creative podcasting, writing and recording, video, filming, whatever. And just, channeling this energy of being able to think outside of the normal realms into a meaningful and impactful creation or creations. For some of you, you just may overflood with creativity right now. It wants us to break free from our limitations and push the boundaries of our creativity, and to sort of like embrace our artistic instinct, not comparing it with others but being ourselves and allowing our own unique expression to come out. It's a time of vibrant self-expression and the opportunity to being open to ideas and concepts that have the potential to inspire and resonate with others. And if we embrace this creative energy, we can have a deeper sense of happiness and connection with ourselves right now. On the emotional level, we can sort of like become more emotionally intelligent and communicatively intelligent as well, because we can understand our own emotions as well as the emotions of others, and we can become more sort of like effective and empathetic in our communication, and this can lead to deeper connections and meaningful relationships with others for some of you, or just helping you solve relationship problems that have been really, really hurting you and the other people involved for years, even decades even. You may just come to realise that, hey, there's a better way for us to do this. And so, yeah, you become more authentic in your communication and more receptive to other people being authentic in the way they communicate as well. So, yeah, ultimately, you can find yourself more emotionally intelligent as you are more attuned, open to sort of cues and non-verbal expressions, and this just helps you navigate especially tense situations more better, and this can lead to a deeper understanding of your own emotional landscape and the emotional needs of others, and it gives us the ability to convey our thoughts and feelings to others effectively. And because it's a time of increased empathy, compassion and emotional connection, it can be beneficial to create healthier, more fulfilling relationships in all areas of our lives right now. So now I'm going to talk about the positives and negatives and the best use of Mercury out of bounds, which happens this year in Taurus and Gemini. So in Gemini, positively, it brings grounding and stabilizing energy to discussions. It can make us more curious and adaptable in our communication styles. So on the negative end, when Mercury's out of bounds, especially when it's in Taurus, we can be more stubborn and resistant to change. We can be scattered in our thoughts and indecisive because of the Gemini influence as well, and the double Gemini influence, because Mercury rules Gemini as well. So when it's in Gemini, exactly, it can be increasingly scattered, and as it's pushing us to be open to new and push our limits and get out of our comfort zone as well. It can be even more scary, and we can become more inflexible, and people can just be like, my way's right and this is the way to do things, and just be too pushy. So try and respect other people's boundaries and enforce your boundaries, and just walk away if things get too verbally heated right now. So the best use of this energy is to consciously work on improving your communication skills, staying open-minded to new ideas, and doing things that promote you being more mentally sharp, aware and flexible. Keeping a journal, practicing mindfulness or seeking clarity through meaningful conversations can help you navigate the ups and downs of this energy. So now I'm going to talk about the aspects that are happening when Mercury goes out of bounds, and these aspects are said to flavour the whole period when Mercury's out of bounds. So Mercury makes a square to Saturn, a sextile square to Pluto, and a square to the ascendant. So Mercury square to Saturn allows us to be more structured and disciplined in our communication and thinking, and it encourages us to be more thorough, pay more attention to detail. But we can become too pessimistic and inflexible in our thinking, and our communication with authority figures can be challenging as well. The next aspect is Mercury sextile square to Pluto, so this allows us to bring more depth and intensity to our thought and communication, and supports us in transforming the ways that we think and express ourselves. But negatively, it can add to the power struggles and people being manipulative in communication, and trust issues can come up right now, affecting the clarity of the messages that are said and the words that are said right now. So people can just be skeptic right now and unbelieving, so just try and have patience, try and fact check, offer facts, give people space and time to process what you say, because some of the things you say right now may be outside of their comfort zone, Mercury also makes a square to the ascendant, so we may find ourselves, the ascendant is us, the humanist, the first house, so we may find ourselves projecting ourselves more into social situations, networking with others, expressing our ideas. It gives us increased confidence to do so and to have engaging communication with others. But negatively, how we present ourselves to others right now can lead to misunderstandings or conflicts. We can be overly direct, too honest right now. I don't think there's a thing of being too honest really, but being honest without tact or taking into account of people's feelings and temperaments and how they may react, I've heard in the past, it's not the way you say things, it's the way that you say it, so try and have tact when engaging with others right now, and give grace and forgiveness for those who may say things in a wrong way. Of course, if they upset you or bring out any other feelings, be honest about it, but also, try and resolve the conflict rather than carry it on as well, because this will waste this energy. So yeah. Also, when Mercury goes out of bounds, the moon makes a sextile to Mercury. So this helps us with our emotional intelligence and increases our cognitive abilities. It allows us to be more intuitive in our understanding and communication, and we just can be more receptive to others' perspectives. So this is really good to sort of like water down out of bounds energy and help us be, grounded and open to resolving conflict within ourselves and in our relationships. The Sun's conjunction to Mercury again helps us with our self-expression, being confident and being able to articulate our ideas and have clarity in our thought and decision-making processes. It just allows us to be more assertive and get our thoughts and ideas across to others. Mercury also makes a conjunction to Venus, so again this brings harmony to our communication styles and relationships, helps us be more creative and exchange ideas with others and allow negotiations to go more smoothly with charm and diplomacy, us being able to understand other people's point of view, and it just promotes positive relationships and agreements. This is really, really good for resolving conflict once again over the month or so, 3 weeks to be more precise, that Mercury's out of bounds. Mercury also makes a semi-square with Mars, so this can bring tension and make us more impulsive in our reactions in communication. It can lead to us being more assertive, but it can also lead to us being aggressive and, add to us being more sort of like in fights with others as well. So we have to try once again to avoid misunderstandings and heating debates and just be, powerful with our words and with what we want as individuals, but allow others to do the same as well. So yeah, but allow others to do the same. So yeah. Also at the time of Mercury going out of bounds, there's a stellium between the Sun, Mercury and Venus with a 20% orb. So a stellium happens when 3 or more planets align in the same zodiac sign or degree orb, which is 10 degrees, so they have to be within conjunction. So now I'm going to talk about what a stellium is in astrology and the positives and negatives of a stellium, and how the stellium involving the Sun, Mercury and Venus in Taurus with a 20% orb affects Mercury out of bounds this year. So a stellium happens when 3 or more planets are in the same zodiac sign, house or degree orb. So how that works out, say Uranus is in the 29th degree of Taurus, and then we've got the Sun in the 5th degree of Gemini, then we've got Mercury in the 6th degree of Gemini. They're all being a stellium, right, at a degree orb, because all 3 of those planets are within 10 degrees of each other. So yeah, so the particular energy of that sign or signs can have an influence on an individual if we're talking birth chart, or on global events if we're talking transits like this Mercury out of bounds transit. So positives of the stellium is that it brings increased focus, it amplifies the strengths of the zodiac energy, and it can accelerate development in the energies of a particular sign or planet or house as well, and is really good for personal development and growth as well. So it can push us towards our transformation faster, but negatively it can make us overwhelmed, leading to excessive stress and anxiety, feeling emotionally burdened, and we can lose balance, and this can lead to power struggles as well. So the stellium involving the Sun, Mercury and Venus brings intense energy to our relationships, communication and to our individual values. It can bring erratic communication. As I said, it allows us to be unconventional in our thinking and have unexpected changes in how we process or say information. This can lead to innovative ideas, but also add to disruptions in communication patterns and misunderstandings. We may find ourselves more deeply immersed in matters related to our values, finances and close intimate relationships, so family relationships, or our lovers, our wives, our husbands, our partners, whatever you want to call them, sort of thing. So it can bring more determination. However, the increased intensity and focus on our relationships can lead to us having feelings of just feeling overwhelmed, because we're having to find a balance between the different aspects of our lives, such as work and personal relationships. So the energy of the Sun, Mercury and Venus being in Taurus when Mercury goes out of bounds allows us to be more grounded and overcome the feelings of being overwhelmed, lacking focus, and we have to take time out for self-care to avoid being burnt out as well. So now I'm going to talk about the Sabin degree that Mercury is in when it goes out of bounds. So the 22nd degree of Taurus rules the tongue muscles in our bodies and has the Sabin symbol, a white dove over troubled waters. So on the physical material level, this 22nd degree reminds us of the challenges that we can face while communicating. We may have troubles finding the right words to get our message across at this time, because Mercury is in the 22nd degree and it rules the tongue muscles. So we have to just, again, be sincere, seek clarity, and just pay attention. Give forgiveness, walk away. Do not get into fisticuffs. Socially and collectively, it encourages us to seek understanding and common ground with others, creating unity and cooperation and not being superficial, and find harmony amongst the chaos and the conflict. And on the esoteric occult level, it wants us to find spiritual purity and guidance during troubled times. We can have a sort of higher spiritual presence, just feeling connected to a divine power within us, or just feeling more secure due to our relationships with others, or spending time, even though it could be hard, just we can find it comforting by, for some of us it'd be by ourselves, our own thoughts, by a higher power, or by other people at this time. It allows us to dig deep into our subconscious and explore, hidden symbolism and meanings in our communication, and tap into the unseen forces that shape our reality. Invites us to listen attentively to the whispers of our intuition and trust in the guidance that come from within us, and it guides us to a deeper understanding of ourselves as well. And the symbolism of the white dove over troubled waters serves as a beacon of hope and tranquility during the times of uncertainty or unrest, reminding us to approach challenges with grace and compassion. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the karmic meanings, lessons and past life understanding of Mercury out of bounds. So this energy reminds us to break free from our limiting beliefs or patterns in communication that have been carried over from past lives. It's an opportunity to challenge the way we speak, think and process information, paving the way for karmic growth and evolution. So just imagine, Steve Jobs, he pushed the boundaries of our communication, and look how, the things he's invented, the iPhone and stuff, have reshaped our understanding of the world. We now have the smartphones, most of us in our hand, and there was other, smartphone sort of like providers, but at the time, Apple was sort of like the leaders. And now, there's a positive and negative of having this, our smartphones in our hands. But the positive of having this phone is like access to all knowledge everywhere, except for the knowledge that can only be found within us, right? But you get the understanding. So Mercury out of bounds wants us to question our own mental constructs and societal norms. Why do we conform? Why do you believe the things you do? Why do you live up to other people's expectations, if you do, and so on? Why do you feel that things can never change for you? And just questioning the things that you believe to be true about the world, the other people in it, and yourself. Also, karmically, one of the key lessons we have to learn is to learn how to adapt the way that we communicate and to embrace the different ways that other people communicate. On the past life level, it wants us to overcome barriers that are related to self-expression and the way that we can be stuck in our ways, especially when it comes to thinking. We're like, I've always thought like this, I don't need to think any other way, you're right, I'm wrong, instead of realising that all truths are kind of half-truths, except for the truths such as, if water comes out of the sky, then typically it's rain. If the sun shines, the sun will shine some days it don't shine, some days it shines in the morning and then never comes out again, some days it shines for 10 hours straight, that sort of thing. But when it comes to the way that we perceive like a higher power, the way that we take in the world and our subjective interpretation, then all truths are harsh truths. So overall, Mercury out of bounds karmically invites us to think outside the box, communicate boldly and embrace new ways of understanding the world around us. It challenges us to break free from karmic patterns that no longer serve our growth and open ourselves up to a broader perspective. And just as Mercury itself is a planet of communication and intellect, going out of bounds with it can be a powerful catalyst for personal transformation and evolution. So being prepared to think outside of the box. So now I'm going to talk about how our family, friendship, co-worker, committed, hookup and self-partnered relationships are affected in more depth. So positively, family members can have a deeper understanding of each other due to increased clarity and expressing their thoughts and emotions, but negatively, there can be instances of miscommunication and misunderstandings due to the intensified energy, and this can lead to conflicts and tension within the family unit. In terms of friendship relationships, we can have more meaningful and fulfilling conversations that can strengthen our bonds, but negatively we can have disagreements or arguments that can come up from the increasing emotions right now as well, and people having different perspectives. So we just have to try and, as I said, walk away, try and be understanding and try and be forgiving, because sometimes Mercury out of Bounds can make us say words and it's not funny, but can make us say things and do things that we wouldn't normally do, and the best that we can do in those instances is to apologise. The best thing is not to do it, but when we do it, after that the second best is to apologise. In terms of co-worker relationships, we can become more productive and innovative in solving workplace problems, which is good, but there can be challenges over different ideas and approaches to solving these conflicts, and because people can just be more assertive right now as well and not willing to compromise. So compromise is key across all relationships during Mercury out of bounds. In committed relationships, we may have more passion and intimacy, deepening the connection, but nevertheless this increased sensitivity can lead to conflicts and misunderstandings. So it's essential for partners to practice patience and open communication and mindedness during this time to maintain harmony and understanding in the relationship, or for some of you to regain that balance after a big emotional verbal blowout. So in hookup connections, there can be a sort of potential for miscommunication and cross wires due to an increase in emotions. Those in self-partnership relationships may find this time good for introspection and personal growth, and those who are single as well. But self-doubt can come up, so we just have to try and overcome self-doubts, understanding them, forgiving them, knowing that sometimes we need, I don't know why, it just seems that sometimes us humans need pain and self-doubt to get things done, and this doesn't mean we should reduce the negative thoughts that we allow to live in our minds, but just to accept them and to sort of put them in their place can just help you navigate life a lot better. But yeah, no matter if you're dating yourself, dating someone else, it's crucial for all individuals to prioritise their self-care, love, forgiveness and awareness at this time, and use clear communication to navigate through Mercury being out of bounds. So now I'm going to talk about how career, personal, spiritual and educational development are affected when Mercury is out of bounds. So in terms of career development, it allows us to think outside of the box and come up with innovative solutions, which can lead to breakthroughs at work and the ability to communicate more effectively with our colleagues and superiors, and it can bring an increased opportunity for growth. So, for example, a marketing executive might come up with a brilliant campaign idea during this period that pushes them forward in their careers, but negatively, you can kind of face difficulties in focusing on your projects right now, and because we can be prone to miscommunications and understandings in the workplace, we can struggle with making decisions due to scattered thoughts, and this can lead to missed deadlines, conflicts with co-workers or missed opportunities for advancement. So just try and stay on the ball right now. In terms of personal development, we may find ourselves more curious, seeking new experiences and knowledge that contribute to our personal growth. So yeah, you may feel sort of inspired to explore different hobbies or develop new skills, and this can lead to a sense of happiness and self-improvement and being in alignment with yourself. Some of you may take up a new language, enroll in a course that aligns with your interests, or something that you thought about, I've always thought about looking into astrology or something like that. You may take up just really delve into something that deeply that you only really had the surface level interest in before. It sort of wants us to dig into our deeper psychology, spirituality, higher logical reasoning, deductive reasoning, to enhance our overall well-being by thinking and reflecting on the things that we need to do more of to bring more happiness. And remember, although we've been programmed to think money and the happiness is at the end goal, happiness is actually in embracing the journey. So in embracing doing things each day to make you happy. And because so much of us put off being happy, and for someone who've put off so much in their life due to, oh, I'm waiting for this to happen or that to happen, the time is always now. So now is the time when Mercury's out of bounds to embrace thinking differently, communicating differently. We just need to watch out for the increased anxiety and the indecisiveness and overthinking that can come in our personal development. As I said, the self-doubt can come up, and we can have, difficulties in expressing ourselves effectively, or even understanding ourselves. So just best to voice note and record, any thoughts, or write them down, record them, but not necessarily act on any ideas right now, because it could be overwhelming for some of you to maintain focus on your goals right now. And that's okay, being gentle and loving yourself when you are crawling, because like I said, improving yourself, some days you're running, some days you're walking, other days you're literally dragging yourself, imagine with your nails bit by bit, and it's kind of painful to be making the progress, but you're still doing it anyway, because this is what it's all about. So life is all about, and Mercury going out of bounds wants us to focus on your unique expression and you finding out the best ways for you to communicate and express yourself more effectively. So in terms of spiritual growth, it wants us to connect with our inner selves and our higher consciousness, seeking out spiritual mentors and researches and anything else that can increase your connection with your higher power, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, and connect with your intuition, and you can have kind of like profound deep insights, giving you a deeper understanding of your purpose in life. But negatively, it can make us struggle with existential questions like, what is the meaning of life? And if there's no meaning, I can't find meaning, don't believe in a higher power or higher self, then, the world is crap, all of those things that we question and think, what is the point sometimes? And we all go through it, And what I found is that we have to increase our faith and the love of uncertainty and the unknown, because we stay in our comfort zone because we know it, it's routine, we love it there. The unknown change is scary. We don't know what it can bring, and this is why we stick to our sort of like toxicity, whether it be toxic ways of being in the world, relating to ourselves and others, our self-destructive thoughts and behaviours, So spiritually, it wants us to build more faith, getting comfortable in the unknown, and this is when practicing hope and believing in things that you can't see. And it can be hard, don't beat yourself up. It's the hardest thing for humans to do, one of the hardest part of my journey. But by sort of like trying to resolve your internal conflict, taking the time out day by day to do so, seeking clarity in the chaos of your existing in the world, and beliefs and values, and questioning yourself and others, and uncertainty of what to believe in, because this phase of spiritual turmoil that Mercury out of bounds can bring is an opportunity for growth and transformation. It pushes us to question ourselves deeply, especially their ingrained beliefs, and explore new beliefs and perspectives that align more with who you are authentically. Because a lot of times our personalities are just cultivated, built from our experiences, not our processing, but just from the things that happen to us. We don't process the things, so we just become a product of our experiences. So this energy wants us to be more open, use self-reflection, questioning ourselves and our beliefs and why we think the things that we do and do the things that we do. And this can lead to spiritual breakthroughs and a deeper connection with your inner truth. In terms of educational development, you may find yourself facing challenges that require you to adapt and grow. You can struggle academically right now, especially with the need to acquire new skills, get new skills in the rapidly changing world. Now AI is in the mix, and everything just seems to be changing. But this energy reminds us that it's essential for us to approach these obstacles with resilience and a growth mindset, viewing them as opportunities for learning and self-improvement. And like I said, we've all got the smartphone, and yeah, we can use it to Netflix and chill and binge and waste our time, or we can use it to, watch things that can help us learn new skills. These smartphones can either make or break our lives, so it's up to you to choose which one it's going to do for you. And not just smartphones, I mean the world. Everything in the world, the world's going to either make you or break you, and it's as simple as that. And I know it may not sound fair, and I seek justice, so I've got a lot of, justice seeking energy in my natal chart to keep it so, but I've come to understand, the only things that we can control and is ourselves and our thoughts and our mind and how we respond to the world. The world's going to keep on worlding. How we respond to the world is the only thing that we're in control in ever. And I know it can sound bleak, but actually there's a lot of hope there and a lot of, certainty there that the only thing you control is how you react. And then once you follow that rule, then it's easier for you to respond to the world because it's your choice. It's your choice how you navigate the world. So by embracing a proactive approach to your education and lifelong learning journey, cultivating and developing a lifelong love for learning, which you may hate it right now, but slow, steady steps, doing this can help you just love life more and not be so scared of change and the many changes that will continue to come. If you look in the past 30 years or the past 100 years of human history, there's been so much change, so change is inevitable. It's the only constant in our life. So it wants us to think more critical, to solve our problems and be more creative in our problem solving as well, seeking support from mentors, exploring diverse learning opportunities and staying open to new experiences can significantly enhance your educational journey and personal development. And just remember that it's through these challenges and experiences that individuals have the chance to discover their strengths and passions and areas for growth. So by cultivating a mindset of continuous learning and adaptation, being flexible, you can navigate the complexities of your educational and sort of self-learning landscapes with confidence and determination. So now I'm going to finish up by talking about the best things for creatives, professionals and entrepreneurs, alternative healers, lovers, singles and self-partnered people to do when Mercury's out of bounds. So for creatives, it wants us to think outside of the box and allow our imaginations to run wild during this period. It's a great time to push boundaries and explore unconventional ideas, and it can push us to, just experiment with newness and new mediums and styles of writing and painting, designing, whatever it is you're into. Professionals can use this energy to brainstorm, to sort of be more innovative, because communication can become more erratic and unconventional. So it's best to be open to new methods of working with others and solving the problems, and keeping an open mind and being flexible to sudden changes. Entrepreneurs can think big and consider big, bold moves for your business. Maybe you've been stuck in a rut. Maybe you've lost your motivation. Maybe you've got projects you need to complete. Maybe they're overwhelming you, the stresses of an entrepreneur. What you have to do is prioritise them and know that you've only got 24 hours in a day. Yes, you want to do it all now, but prioritise. Make a list of the prioritise and stick to it as best as you can. And also prioritise, having your free thinking time that is needed for you, to stay entrepreneurial, but give yourself the chance to take calculated risks and explore untapped opportunities for your skills. Stay flexible and ready to adapt your strategies as needed. Alternative healers can use this energy to sort of try different approaches to how they go about looking after their own and their clients' health and well-being, and trusting their intuition to guide them into offering unique healing experiences to their clients. Lovers should allow this energy to allow you to be more spontaneous, allow more excitement, embrace unexpected gestures of love and communication, and be open to exploring new ways to connect with your partner or partners. This is a time to deepen your emotional bond through genuine and open-hearted conversations, even if things get tensioned and filled, just saying sorry and being open to apologies, but also respecting other people's boundaries. It's not just I can do whatever I want and just say sorry. It's not about that. It's about, giving each other grace and the space to actively listen to each other and allow each other to communicate in the ways that you need to right now and beyond, this period in your relationship. Singles, you should embrace the element of surprise and unpredictability. Be open to meeting new people who challenge your perceptions and expand your horizons. And this period offers opportunities for exciting encounters and meaningful connections. It encourages you to step out of your comfort zone and embrace new experiences with an open heart. So allow Mercury's out of balance spark to allow you to be open to adventure and creativity in your romantic plans. And this can lead to exciting encounters and potentially meaningful connections for some of you, which is really good. So all in all, for singles, it's a good time for exploration and growth in matters of the heart. So stay open-minded and ready to welcome the unknown with curiosity and enthusiasm. For those who are self-partnered, this energy allows you to, engage in deep self-reflection and strengthen your connection with yourself and any higher power you believe in, and explore your own desires and passions. You can use this time to focus on personal growth, self-care, and nurture a fulfilling relationship with yourself, allowing Mercury's out-of-bounds energy to inspire creativity and innovation in your solar activities, and these can lead to a greater sense of self-empowerment, and fulfillment in your self-partner journey. So that's the end of this special on Mercury out of bounds. Thanks for listening and take care.